firstly, just wanted to say welcome to everyone. I'm Saul, and this is a Phoenix Court gathering. This is Somerset House. 250 years ago, Somerset House was an attempt by institutional Britain to bring together under one roof the arts and the sciences, so the Royal Society and the Royal Academy. And then the other thing that Somerset House attempted to do, because it was a government building, was to bring government into the same space as the arts and the sciences. I look around me and there's just an incredible, diverse group of people, and that is the point of today, is to have a conversation and to do it here, intentionally, in Somerset House, on the Thames. Too often, and this, I think, from my point of view, is the Silicon Valley narrative, is innovation is not inclusive. It's exclusive, and it's exclusively for the benefits of the founders and the investors who create these miraculous, world-changing companies. I just think there's a new story to be written, and it's the people in this room and the people you're connected to and the communities and the neighborhoods you're connected to, in our view, that's going to define the next era of innovation, and that's inclusive innovation. We have decided this year to move to a shared ownership model, where all of our team, and critically and importantly our neighbors in Somerstown, are shareholders in our business. And we have a mission to be a good long-term neighbor and to help people realize their full potential. And we don't believe you can innovate successfully and not share the dividends of innovation. This is why we're here. Please just be part of the conversation. I'm going to hand over now to John, the founder of Sifted. He still is the innovation editor at the Financial Times. So John, welcome to the stage.
Wonderful. Thank you very much for that generous introduction, Saul. And it's incredible to see so many impressive people in the room here for this gathering. So, Erica, I'd like to start with you. What does inclusive innovation mean to you, and how do we best promote it?
Inclusive innovation starts with making sure that we are giving to and providing equity to the stakeholders in our stratosphere and being less extractive. A few years ago, I wrote a book called Better Venture, and we looked at what inclusive innovation could look like. And we started to think about how venture started and where it came from. We traced venture capital, Johannes, Leonard and I, back to slavery. And it's been an extractive mechanism ever since then that takes away from people, communities, it extracts their labour, their insights and so on, and it provides revenue to the few. Flipping that on its head was something that we advocated for in the book, and I honestly didn't think that I would see that come to fruition in my lifetime, because we've made such very slow and incremental changes towards innovation up until this point. But what I have seen with the model that Phoenix Court has just come up with, where they've made the community a shareholder, one of the most deprived communities in the UK at that, it starts to actually show that innovation can be for all, and actually it's not going to mean that anybody suffers for it because it's shared.
Lawrence, what does inclusive innovation mean to you?
I called our campaign looking for growth, but then very early on I ran a survey asking, what do people think about growth? And the response from the British public was basically like, we think it's a scam. And people feel that way because they keep hearing from successive governments of different colours and creeds, but nevertheless the same kind of thing. We're the fastest growing in the G7, we're this, but wages have stayed stagnant, people feel completely left behind on it. And so they start to ask, well, if there's growth, who is it for? Because it isn't for me. When we have a growing economy, how do we make sure that everyone feels it in a very foundational way. And I think being able to directly affect life so that they can see a dramatic change is necessary.
Julia, what does inclusive innovation mean to you, and how do we promote it?
Fantastic to be here, and congratulations to Saul and everybody at Phoenix Court for everything you're doing. It really is, I think, just, setting that example and showing the way. We're very used to just looking to government to come and sort out our problems, right? We know government has limited capacity, really, really limited capacity. We can't wait for kind of the overthrow of capitalism, right? To happen. We can't wait for social movements. We can't wait for these things to occur. We have to take that agency. Now, it is the anniversary of Brexit, so I do not want to say the phrase, take back control. I will not say that, but I will say stronger together, right? But seriously, that local level, inclusivity in what you innovate, in how you innovate, and who you innovate with.
Wonderful. Thank you very much for the panel.
In sort of the spirit of this being a gathering and a conversation, go discuss.
Lots and lots of conversations, everybody have a fantastic time. But for me, and I think for Saul as well, it's actually, well, how does this change what people now go on and do? Yeah? So, you kind of wake up some days and think, all right, today's just going to be a normal day, nothing will happen. And some days you wake up and think, actually, no, something's going to happen today, which is going to change the way that I think about the world, the way that I see the world, the people that I know, and therefore what it is I'm going to go and do. And I'm really hoping that today is one of those days, yeah? That it changes who people are just a little bit, how they might see the world just a little bit, a new connection just a little bit, and therefore they'll go and do something different as a result of today that they wouldn't have done yesterday.
My job at the FT is innovation editor. It's a bit of a made-up job title, but I spend my time talking about people who are innovating. And I think very much there's a kind of monoculture of innovation, certainly the way that it's viewed in Silicon Valley. You have these big companies who are determining what is innovation and saying it's all technology-led. What I love about this conversation we're having today is that there are different voices in the room from very different backgrounds. It's not just technology. It's not just in investors. There are people from the community, from the arts, from policy, from academia as well. And I think that's a far greater kind of infusion of thoughts that are entering the debate rather than this kind of monocultural debate that we tend to have when we talk about innovation.
We're talking here about rapid changes in artificial intelligence. We're talking also about a disconnected population in this country that feels left behind. That stuff is a powder keg, and we have to move as quickly as possible. I think what I respect most is that Saul and Phoenix Court, they believe something and they do it. And I think that's something which is very rare and is something we're going to need to see much, much more of.
I've never heard of a VC having this kind of discussion before. I think this is kind of one of the first of its kind in terms of actually spearheading inclusive innovation. So today's discussion is infinitely important, as is the decision by Phoenix Court to restructure the way that they are doing venture going forward, because I think that is it's a landmark moment.
We have an opportunity here to do something different. We don't have to follow the same Silicon Valley narrative of innovation anymore. There is a different way to innovate, an inclusive innovation that benefits everyone.